Hello everyone, welcome to another session of the Value Education Olympiad. My name is Sana Mittal and I'm your host for today. I'm an undergraduate student at the University of Warwick. And today for our sixth session on trustworthiness, we have Dr. Aditi Mishal with us. We welcome you, Dr. Aditi.
Thank you so much, Sana.
Thank you for being with us today. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Aditi is the Chief Sustainability Officer and Dean of Skills Initiative at Govardhan Eco Village. She's an academician, research scholar, sustainability enthusiast, social innovator, and corporate. She's been a trainer with over 20 years of experience in diverse fields. She has a credited patent on small toilet tracking systems and a copyright on empowering sanitation decisions with global system sciences for sustainability under her name. She's a Ph.D. in green marketing, environmental sciences from Savitribai Phule University in Pune in 2014. We welcome you, ma'am, today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sana. Yeah,
Over to
and
you for this.
yeah, thank you for the kind words. I just wanted to start with a note. You may be hearing about MBA, PhD, patent, this and that. But there was a day when I started just like you all, as a kid, going to the school, yeah, trying to do little things own way, helping out for the larger cause. I still remember I was part of the Help Age India program, which helped the elders by collecting the funds with the neighborhood. So I was just like you someday, yeah. But it's only over these years pursuing that calling from inside for doing something good actually has got me this opportunity to serve in a better manner the larger cause of environment and the larger cause of doing something good for the society. So here today we'll be discussing about the sixth value, which is trustworthiness. So what you could see right now on the PPT here is a photograph, and you have to guess which is the area that we are talking about, which is the forest this picture could be. I'll give you 15 seconds to think and write in the chat box. Great. So if someone has written the answer as redwood forest, then you have arrived at the right answer. So this picture is about the children visiting redwood forest, and there is a beautiful uh, facts about redwood forest. So about this beautiful place, we can learn a lot about redwood forest and learnings that we can take for trustworthiness from the roots of these redwood forest. As you can see in this particular picture, the roots of the redwood forest trees get intertwined with each other. What does this mean? Even if it is a shorter tree, the younger one, its roots get intertwined with the huge, large trees which are there in redwood forest. One of the important detail that you should know about the redwood forest is this particular place faces lot of natural disasters, earthquakes for that matter, and also floods. But none of these, even short trees or small trees or young trees, they fall. The reason? Because of the intertwining which happens with these other stronger trees. As you can see in this particular picture, the roots, they don't go deep. They are much on the surface. Still, what you could see is huge growing trees of redwood forest. In fact, as we could go to the next slide, as you can see here, that these trees, they live more than 2000 years. Yeah, and they are 300 feet tall. So this shows that how strong the tree can become just because their roots get intertwined. So when the intertwining is happening, actually it is what represents trustworthiness in each other. There are a lot of things in which we may need to grow, yeah, and we lack in some manner. And there are a lot of things in which others are strong. Why not bring our strength and other strengths together with that trust as the binding, actually then becomes a team which is invincible. Yeah, I'm sure you all must have watched a lot of movies like Avengers and so on and so forth. Yeah, but in real time life also, the critical role of team has been put forth in a lot of discussions. We talk about organizations which are succeeding, we talk about NASA, we talk about ISRO, we talk about any of the organization in this world. They can't survive, even for that matter, in the school. If you have to win any quiz competition where the team is representing, or you want to win at the science fair, the teamwork is very critical. And for all of this teamwork, what is most important is it's the trustworthiness. So there are a lot of other facts about redwood over here. As you all know, in the summer, the region is arid. There is no water supply available. So how do these huge trees survive in dry summer? They rely on getting fog, moisture from the fog, which serves as the water which is required for the trees to grow. So they were internationally all over the globe at one point of time, but unfortunately now they have been more limited to the forests, closer to Australia and the region close by. They help fight climate crisis the most. As you can see here, according to the research, the coast redwood store more CO2 than any other forest in the world. Yeah, so they hold up, or they take up 2600 metric tons. So what is metric tons? 2600 into 1000, 1000. Okay, so 2600 into 1000, again tons. That means another 1000 has to be multiplied. Those many kgs of carbon dioxide is taken by just 2.4 acres or 1 hectare of forest. So you can imagine, these are along with the Amazon forest. The redwood forest is like lungs of our earth. Yeah. So a lot of things that we owe back to this forest. So with this lesson, which is coming so beautifully from the redwood forest, let us go a little deeper and try to understand the neuroscience of trust. When we choose to trust in someone, or when someone chooses to trust in us, what happens in the brain? What exactly, is the chemical composition inside the brain? Yeah. So that is what we will go through now in little detail to understand the neuroscience of trust. So this is Paul Zak, and he did a lot of research on trust. And this is a very beautiful statement which comes from him. He says that the trust is high morale is high, and when trust is there, people become more happy in their life, and the organizations become more productive too. So this is a very beautiful information that you get about the four hormones which bring us actually happiness. Okay, so they are called as happy hormones. Yeah, one is dopamine, another is endorphin, oxytocin, and serotonin. So what is the formula to be happy? Yeah, dopamine is released when we take up a task, challenging task, and complete it with confidence without procrastinating it. Yeah, without postponing it. Yeah, so then dopamine is released. Okay, so that sense of achievement brings us happiness, isn't it? Yeah, so what is that chemical which is causing that happiness? It's dopamine. Yeah, do you also feel very happy when you exercise? Yeah, so it is endorphin which actually gives you happiness when you exercise. When you meet your friends, I'm sure you also feel happy. You when you choose to trust your friends, you tell them secrets of your life. Yeah, and you also hear those secrets from them. Okay, so it's the oxytocin, yeah, the third happy hormone, which is causing happiness when you choose to trust others and when you connect with others. And the last happy hormone is serotonin. Serotonin is released when you help others, when you show compassion to others. Okay, so one of the important release releaser of happiness is also oxytocin, as you know, and it is released when you choose to trust others. So if you want the formula to be happy, yeah, we also need to choose to trust others, as you can see according to this O factor model. The oxytocin is released, definitely the trust level is higher when there is purpose of doing something good. The engagement or involvement with whatever activity we are doing is very high then, and automatically if the involvement is high, it leads to more joy, and the performance is also good. Do you all face any time problem of not being able to focus? Yeah, or not being able to study properly? I think we should then learn to trust others and develop a purpose of doing something good with the study that we are going to do. And with this higher purpose, we will be more involved in our studies and our performance also will improve. There was a very beautiful experiment which was carried out to understand how animals and human beings choose to trust others. And during this experiment, it was seen that whenever I choose to trust in someone, yeah, suppose I am meeting some stranger, I choose to strike conversation with that stranger. Yeah, or if I know someone, I choose to hand over some money for investment to other person. Yeah, so that is the time when we are trusting that particular individual, right? Yeah, so during that time, the blood samples were taken out during this experiment, and the blood samples were tested. During this test, it was realized that the levels of oxytocin hormone was higher when we are choosing to trust another person. And in fact, later on, the study was also carried out with the oxytocin nasal spray. When oxytocin nasal spray uh, doses were given to individual through nose, they became more trustworthy. In a sense, they were ready to put their trust into another individual. Whatever investment they were making, they doubled that particular investment. So, oxytocin is the hormone which is related to trustworthiness. Isn't this very interesting for all of you? Okay. Now, we have known one fact that it's not just for the environmental action, but also to live a happy life, we need to develop trustworthiness. Yeah. We need to choose to trust other individuals. Yeah. We also need to learn by taking small steps by which people should consider us as a trustworthy individual, as a responsible person. Yeah. So what are those things that we can do, small steps in our life, which will help us become a trustworthy individual, a responsible person? This we can see in the form of these steps, which are seen through wheel of trust. Yeah. So now what we are going to do is we will look at one step as part of this wheel of trust. We will try to connect it with something that we have learned from nature. Yeah. Connect back to this thing and learn that particular thing from Mother Nature, like being consistent. So, from whom can we learn to be more consistent from nature? Yeah. Demonstrating vulnerability. From whom can we learn about this? Okay. So, there is a very beautiful saying from Albert Einstein. He says, look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. So, even to learn about trustworthiness, we have to look back to nature and find out what nature has to share with us to learn more about trust. Do you know these birds? If you know them, I would suggest I'll give you 10 seconds. You can write in the chat box. So, if you have written the answer that these birds are hummingbirds, you have scored full marks. Okay. So, so what do you know about hummingbirds? Yeah. I'm sure you must be knowing some details about them, that they are the migratory birds. Yeah. They fly from North Pole to South Pole. Can you imagine? It's tremendously long flight. Even aeroplanes cannot imitate hummingbirds. And what is the size of hummingbirds? They're this small. Yeah, they weigh just 3 grams. So can you imagine the efficiency with which they fly? It's amazing. Yeah. And they are very consistent because they are small. They don't even take many breaks during this flight. They are very long flight. They're very consistent in their performance. Yeah. So even the food they will pick up on their go when they are flying with the worms that they get on the ground and continue their flight further. So consistency is something that we learn from the hummingbirds. Okay. Now we come to the next quality, that is demonstrating vulnerability. Yeah. So remember, to love, to trust, they're all verbs. So even common language can teach us that first thing that we have to do is choose to put our trust into another person. If we want someone to trust us, the first step of that is we put our trust in other individual. Okay, so what does that mean? At times we may be vulnerable, in the sense we may be in a risky position. Yeah, we may be first to take up little sacrifice. Yeah, then seeing our sacrifice, the other individual we reciprocate and then put their trust in us. Okay, any guess from the picture which is the bird that I'm talking about when I'm talking about vulnerability here? I'll give you another 15 seconds. You can just think and write the answer in the chat box. So if your answer was plover bird, then it was right answer. Okay, so there is a very beautiful trusted relationship between the crocodile and the plover bird. Can you imagine crocodile has opened the mouth like this and we put our hand into the mouth of crocodile? Is it possible? Can we do that? We can't. Yeah, but this plover bird, so small, it has got that courage to show that vulnerability and sit inside the mouth of the crocodile. But you know why crocodile is allowing to do that? Because the plover bird gives it the tooth spa. It helps clean the tooth of crocodile and eats whatever remnants of the hunting that crocodile has carried out. After that, whatever remains are in the mouth of the crocodile, it's eaten by the plover bird. At the same time, it cleans the tooth of the crocodile. So it's very important that we take risks at time and show that vulnerability for earning the trust from others. Now we come to the next, quality here. After demonstrating vulnerability, next is uh, keeping the commitment. Yeah, sticking to the commitment. Yeah. Now again, this is a very beautiful photograph. Do you all agree? Yeah, it's an amazing photograph in the moonlit night. Yeah, on a Purnima. Yeah, Purnima Divas. This photograph has been taken. And what you could see on the shore of this particular ocean. Can you guess what it is? Yeah, I'll give you another 10 seconds to write the answer in the chat box. So if your answer was the microphytoplanktons, you have got the full score. Okay, so the microphytoplanktons, these are small plants, marine plants, and the amount of oxygen which the Amazon forest generates, almost equivalent to that. So like 50% of the oxygen comes from Amazon forest and another 50% of the oxygen comes from these microphytoplanktons. They're so small in size, but you can imagine how they are committed to doing good to others by releasing that oxygen in the atmosphere, which survives all of the living beings, all other living beings on the earth. Okay, so this is the third quality that we have seen, which is required to build the trustworthiness. Now we go to the fifth one from here. Yeah, being transparent. Yeah, so definitely we can learn about transparency from water. As you all are aware, water doesn't keep anything for itself. Yeah, it is clear. There is no inside out for water, and in fact, it it takes the color and shade of anything that it is associating with. So this is the quality of transparency. As you all are aware, we are in the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. This Kaliyug, yeah, according to the Hindu faith, is called as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. If we have to overcome quarrel and hypocrisy, it's very important that we become transparent and honest. We don't keep back secrets which are going to hurt others. So it's very important that we develop transparency like water. Now, after water has taught us transparency, let us go to the next beautiful quality of appreciating others. Yeah, I'm sure you all are aware of ants, and they do lot of great tasks. You know, being part of the team. So appreciating others in the form of teamwork is what we can learn from ants. And I'm sure there are a lot of details about how teamwork is done in the ants community. So these small ants, when they come together, they can eat away a complete tree. Yeah, they have that amazing quality because they appreciate each other and develop teamwork. Okay, so we can learn to appreciate others from ants. So you may have heard of, maple trees and all other these beautiful trees that they change their color according to season. Yeah, so also during different seasons, the trees have to undergo so many different difficulties. Yeah, during winter season, imagine, we are standing outside in the snowy region and without any covering. Yeah, without any sweater or without any blazer. Yeah, tough time. Or we are standing in rain without an umbrella. Yeah, or we are standing during summer season in hot sun. Yeah, so trees, they take they develop tolerance for all of these things. Can imagine. Yeah, they tolerate the summer season, they tolerate the winter season, they tolerate the rainy season. Yeah, and they choose to trust mother nature. Yeah, where it says that, mother nature, whatever the mother nature is going to do with them, they are happy to accept that in their life. Okay, so this is a very beautiful quality of trees that we can take. Trusting, choosing to trust others. Yeah, demonstrating trust with others. So listening well and being personal, this is also another great quality that we can learn from birds. Yeah, the birds, when they are flying, they choose to communicate with others even without speaking. They catch the vibrations. They can understand if other birds are sick. They come to know about it. And the geese, they fly in that V formation. They choose to stay with their you know unhealthy, diseased, condition friends. Yeah, they form a smaller V with that particular bird, stay back with them for some time till they recover from that particular disease, and then join back with the other flock a little later. Okay, so listening well and being personal is something that we can learn from the birds. So here we can see If you go back to the course material which has been shared with all of you, the booklet very beautifully mentions, you know, three important qualities. When we become trustworthy, there are few qualities that we develop, and when we develop those qualities, we can become leader in every walk of life. We can be leader in the school, we can be leader in the team that we are leading, may it be sports, may it be any art group, it could be the band that you are in, it could be the kabaddi team that you are in, it could be football team that you are in, it could be the volleyball team that you are in. Yeah, I'm sure you all could also be dancing. Yeah, you could be part of the dance group. Yeah, so imagine if you have to be leader and doing good as a leader in these teams. Yeah, you have to develop trustworthiness. After you develop trustworthiness, what happens is we definitely become more honest, become more transparent. Yeah, we stick to the principles that we choose to follow in our life. Yeah, so the principles, there could be n number of principles. So I encourage some of you to share the principles that you follow in your life, that you have taken either from your family, or you could have taken it from your teachers. Yeah, uh, like, I'll never speak lie could be one of the principle. Another principle could be, I will reduce the use of single use plastic in my life. Yeah, if I want to be true to environment, if I want to be responsible and honest in taking care of environment. Yeah, I will choose to reduce use of plastic. So this could be one of the principles that you may be following. So I encourage all of you to share in the chat box the principles that you are following in your life. Yeah, or uh, being a good friend in need. Yeah, so whenever my friends need me, I'm there. Yeah, that could be one of the principles that you may be following in life. So trustworthiness helps to build that integrity. Yeah, it helps us to follow those principles that we choose in our life. Okay, and then there is a statement you may have heard of, that person is man or woman of integrity. Okay, so you may have heard of this particular phrase. Okay, so I'm sure you would love this to be the appreciation coming for you from your friends, from your family members. Okay, so that's why it's important to develop trustworthiness. There is a very beautiful story from the Hindu faith, but not just Hindu faith for that matter. All other faiths, they also talk about trustworthiness, and we'll be now looking at what scriptures teach us from different faiths. May it be Hindu, may it be Muslim faith, may it be Christian faith. All of these faiths, they teach us about trustworthiness through amazing stories which have been documented in these scriptures. So, this is the story before the birth of Lord Krishna. As you could see, there is a chariot in which the parents of Krishna are sitting. Yeah, Devki and Vasudev. Yeah, Devki is mother of Lord Krishna, and Vasudev is father of Lord Krishna. And as you can see, the one with the sword and showing the cruelty is Kansa, brother of Devki. He unfortunately chose to distrust the sister, because the announcement happened in the sky that eighth son of Devki will kill you. And Kansa started becoming fearful. So, fear, anxiety actually reduces trustworthiness. It reduces the opportunity by which people can trust others. Because they become fearful, they are insecure, they they don't easily trust others. Yeah, that becomes their problem. Yeah. So Kansa represents that. Yeah, the distrust in others. But imagine here, Vasudev, who is so recently married and just facing this problem that his wife will be killed by Kansa. To avoid this particular situation, this avoid this particular problem, imagine Vasudev, who recently married Devki, chose to trust in Devki. Yeah. And he gave a promise to Kansa that don't worry. Yeah. We will, I will keep up the promise of giving all my children to you. And you can do whatever you want with these children, but please don't harm my wife. So, integrity is what we can learn, yeah, from uh, Vasudev ji. Yeah. And where he is following all of the promises that he made to Kansa. Later on, he gave all of his children to Kansa, even though Kansa killed the six children of Vasudev and Devki, yeah, one after another. Still he kept that particular promise. So this is the highest level of integrity that we can see with Vasudev and Devki. And definitely then this brought them the reward that they became parents. After the sacrifice, they became parents of God himself, Lord Krishna himself. Similar story you can also see in all other faiths. In fact, this is a very interesting detail that you can see here. Um, so what is this picture about? Yeah. Which is the currency that we are talking about? If you, I'll give you 10 seconds to guess and write in the chat box. Which country's currency are we talking about in this picture? If you said US dollar, then your answer was right. Yeah. So there is this very beautiful detail that we can see, that whole economy of US, the money, it rests upon the foundation of what? In God we trust. Okay. And this is a biblical message. This is a message taken from the Bible. Yeah. In God we trust. So remember, even huge US economy, which is the leading economy of the world, it also is based upon, or is has the platform or the foundation of trust. So you can imagine how important this value of trustworthiness is. Huh? So faith, if we are talking about again another perspective here, that faith in the God, yeah, uh, doesn't mean that we say that we will always be saved, or we will not face any problem in life. Faith in the God means that we put faith in the Lord in such a manner that we get the strength to face all of the problems that we face in life. Okay. So when we are acting for environment, yeah, when we take environmental action, when we act against plastic pollution, yeah, when we act against air pollution, when we choose to plant trees, yeah, there will be a lot of obstacles which will come. Yeah, it will not be easy job for all of you. Okay, so all of these efforts that we are taking of speaking with all of you, Yeah, and telling that, you all should develop all of these good qualities. So there is also a purpose for this. Yeah, what is the purpose? That we become trustworthy and become responsible for environment. Yeah, we choose to take steps to protect environment, which is our like our mother. Yeah, the mother nature. Okay, so many obstacles will come, many problems will come, but will you the test will be then, are you trustworthy for environment? Do you choose to give up easily when the problems come up, when you keep working for environment, or do you choose to go strong and take action for environment, for improvement of air quality, water quality, soil quality? Yeah, and help improve environment for all new next generations, the generations which are coming even after you. Okay, so it's very important that we develop the faith and develop the trustworthiness, develop the honesty, stick to the principles, not give up easily. Yeah, become responsible and take action for environment. Another beautiful story from another faith, where we have celebration of Bakri Eid. There is a story behind Bakri Eid, and I'm sure some of you must also be knowing this particular story, where the God approached Prophet Abraham and asked him to sacrifice his son by trusting the words of God. Yeah, Abraham was ready to kill his own son too. He was ready to give the sacrifice of his son for the welfare of humanity. So can you imagine how much how much his trustworthiness was tested by the Lord? Yeah, and how he could show that sacrifice and responsibility towards the Lord by choosing to even kill own son. This is probably a very tough test which the God took, right? Um, so we can see that in all faith, be it Hindu faith, be it uh, Christian faith, be it Muslim faith, any of the faith that people come from, all of the scriptures, they talk about importance of trustworthiness. Yeah, they talk about taking responsibility, they talk about importance of sacrificing our small interest for the larger purpose, for doing welfare to humanity, doing welfare for environment. Okay, so the time will come when you all also will grow up, you all will take up important positions, you all will take up leadership positions. So the test will come in your life too, and you have to be ready for all of those tests by showing how trustworthy you can be, how responsible leader you will be. Okay, so after these beautiful stories, there is one more story which comes your way, where we can see how Hanumanji was considered as the most trustworthy boy by Lord Ram. So when Lord Ram was in exile, his wife, yeah, Sita Maharani, was kidnapped by Ravan. And during this period, Lord Ram was looking, and unfortunately, this happened in Nashik, the place that I belong to. Okay, where I grew up as a child. and for most of my life. Okay, so there is a place called Panchavati where Lord Ram and Sita Maharani were staying, and Sita Maharani was kidnapped from Panchavati and taken all the way to Lanka, now which is called as Sri Lanka. And during this time, as Lord Ram was looking for Sita Maharani in all of the places, he went to a place called Kishkinda. And there he met Hanumanji. After that point of time, Lord Ram could see great qualities of Hanumanji of being honest, yeah, having highest level of integrity, yeah, following all of those principles in life. Due to these great qualities of Hanumanji, Lord Ram could put a lot of trust in Hanumanji, and Hanumanji actually was entrusted the service of finding Sita Maharani, going to Lanka by flying, taking a long flight from India, yeah, the south part of India to all the way to Sri Lanka. And uh, there were a lot of obstacles which came there too. His trustworthiness was tested with a lot of obstacles. Yeah, he was given a lot of allurements of resting, yeah, of he was also attacked by demons, but he tricked all of them, yeah, and he took the path out of all of these obstacles and finally reached the Lanka, where he could give message of Lord Ram to Sita Maharani. And when Hanumanji came back, the scene over here is that particular moment when Hanumanji has come back to Lord Ram, and Lord Ram, yeah, embraced Hanumanji, saying that you are the most trustworthy individual I have met, and you are more dear to me, or as dear to me as my brother Bharat. Okay, so this is the reward for trustworthiness. Okay, so when we choose to trust, definitely we also get tremendous rewards in our life. We develop a lot of beautiful relationships. We we win a lot of friends, and not the friends just for the sake of it on the Facebook. Actual friends who will stand for you in your troubles, yeah, who will stand for you when you need them the most. Okay, so that's why trustworthiness is very, very important. Now, what is trustworthiness level of nature? Yeah, so this is what we can learn from this particular incidents. Yeah, uh, does anyone of you know uh, a BBC film which showed this particular picture? I will give you another 15 seconds to guess about it. It was a man-made disaster, and it's a very famous incidents, unfortunate incidents in the history of uh, we humans, and this is a quite recent thing, around 20 years back or so. Yeah? You get 10 seconds to guess it. What disaster am I talking about? If you said Chernobyl disaster, then your answer is right. So, the trustworthiness of Mother Nature is the highest, and this we can see through this particular incidents. So, there is very beautiful video. I request this video to be played now. So give just few seconds before the video plays. So this is one of the ghastly disasters, man-made disasters. Yeah, please go ahead.
сообщает, что в связи с аварией на Чернобыльской атомной электростанции в городе Припяти складывается неблагоприятная радиационная обстановка.
Yeah. So we can stop the video here now. Thank you so much for playing this particular video. Uh, there is a tremendous lesson that we can take from this particular incident. Actually, BBC covered this particular news recently. This is about the Chernobyl disaster, which happened between 1983-86, and after this particular time, almost so many people got injured, and there were so many casualties, and some of the people even died during this particular incident. A lot of people were displaced from this region, yeah, in Chernobyl, and there were a lot of radiations during the last 20-30 years. So once BBC sent drone to cover and find out what is exactly happening in Chernobyl after the incidents completed some 20-30 years. And can you imagine what they saw? No one could believe. The whole place was lush green. Yeah, so you all are students of science. Yeah, you all know that when the nuclear explosion happens, actually none of the life can continue in that particular region. Yeah, so the trees were destroyed, all of the animals were destroyed, the human beings were evacuated, all of these things were done. But imagine after 20-30 years, again what you could see in this picture is, at the backdrop of that disaster, all greenery. Trees are growing again. You can see a lot of animals also surviving there, and so on and so forth. They are flourishing there, being nourished by Mother Nature. So we can see how trustworthy Mother Nature is. Yeah. we were somewhere irresponsible, and this nuclear explosion happened in the nuclear power plant. But how did Mother Nature reciprocate to it? By being trustworthy, by being responsible. To this responsible Mother Nature, can we reciprocate our little by doing something good for her? Yeah. Can we show our trustworthiness to this trustworthy Mother Nature? Okay. Now, you all must be having questions as to how do we do it? Okay. So, yes, we want to do something for Mother Nature, but how? Now, first step for doing something for Mother Nature would be by understanding how our actions are actually impacting Mother Nature. So, have you heard of the concept called as ecological footprint? Okay, it's a very simple concept. Okay, so it's like um, whenever you go for a trip, yeah, you keep track of whatever expenses happened through the trip, right? You took something to eat, then you put down dosa, 150 rupees. Okay, then why thing, okay, another 100 rupees. You keep a track of all those things, right? So ecological footprint is the understanding of how much you are taking the resources from Mother Nature for your lifestyle. Okay. Like when you're traveling to school, or when you're traveling to for vacation, or the kind of food that you're eating, the amount of water we drink, and so on and so forth. So this is the World Bank and uh, United Nations Environment Program. They have all come together to calculate Earth Overshoot Day. Means whatever Earth's resources are there, they have done some modeling and some calculation by which they know how much we should be using Earth's resources or nature's resources in a year. Okay. And that quota, that budget, when do we finish it? Whether it is used all throughout the year, or we use it much before the year gets completed. That's called as Earth Overshoot Day. Yeah. Unfortunately, we are overshooting the resources that we have. We are utilizing it on July 29th itself in the year 2021. Yeah. And for the next all of these months, we are withdrawing resources from our future generations. So what their due is coming from Mother Nature, what they will require for their subsistence, we have taken all of that. For those 4-5 months, we have already taken as a loan from our future generation. This is very unfortunate. Yeah. But you all, as our future generation, can take right steps and correct it. So do you want to know what your Earth Overshoot Day is? So your personal Earth Overshoot Day can also be known from this particular website. So can we all share this website link with students in the chat box? So you all can click on that particular link and go to the website. Can we just share the website screen over here for a second? Yeah. So you can just close the yeah. So this is how that website would look. Okay. And what you have to do is, when you go to this particular website, you have to click upon take the first step. Okay, so it says ecological footprint. How many planets do we need if everybody lives like the lifestyle that we are living? Okay, so it helps you to calculate your personal ecological footprint. So there is a series of questions that you can go through. Okay, like how often do you eat animal based products? If the answer is never, you just drag it here and submit that particular answer and go to the next. Yeah, go to the next. How much of the food that you eat is unprocessed, unpackaged, or locally grown? Okay, so homemade food is the best food that we can eat. Okay, avoid all packets like kurkure. Yeah, avoid all of the packaged and processed foods as far as possible. Okay, if it is locally grown, you say all. Also, it allows you to choose the percentage. So if you say 75% of the time I eat locally grown or homemade food, you can say that. Okay, you can choose the percentage. Okay, you can go to the next. The next question which it asks is, which housing type best describes your home? Okay, if it is a freestanding, yeah, home, then you can choose freestanding, no running water there. If that is the case, then freestanding running water, which is like a bungalow. Okay, then next is multi-story apartment. So where if you live in the flat, you can choose that option. The next option is row house. If you're staying in a row house, you can choose that. Or you choose in you live in a luxury condominium, then you can choose that, because that will determine how much resources you'll be using, like water, electricity, and so on and so forth. Okay, AC if you have, and so on and so forth. Okay, yeah. Then what material is your house constructed with? If it is bamboo, wood, best. But if it is brick concrete, again, to build the house like this, you can choose concrete. Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you live in a house like where I'm staying, yeah, it's called as adobe house, which is made of compressed stabilized earth blocks or mud. Okay, yeah. Can we go further? Now next question asks you, like, how many people live in your household? You, just you, or 10 plus? You have to choose the number of people in the household and the size of the house. Now you can choose the square feet. Okay, 900 square feet to it can be 9,000, 10,000, and more also. Okay, huge house. So you have to choose the size of the house. Then, do you have electricity in your home? Yes. And then how energy efficient your home is. If you have a lot of modern appliances, then your energy efficiency is lower. But if they are like 5-star appliances which are energy efficient, you can choose 50%. Okay, yeah. What percentage of your home's electricity comes from renewable sources? So is there solar cells put up on the roof for solar electricity in the house, or wind electricity coming to the house? Then you can choose that. If it is high, then if you lot of energy comes from renewable sources, you choose high. If no, then low. But in India, majority of the places it is coal based energy. So you can answer low here. Okay, yeah. Compared to your neighbors, how much trash do you generate? Okay, is it less or is it much more? Okay, yeah. So much less would be maybe less than 1 kg. Okay, and much more would be probably 10 kg, and so on and so forth. Okay, yeah. The next question is, how far do you travel by car or motorcycle each week? Okay, you have to choose the kilometers that you travel every week. So this is weekly calculation. Please remember, it's not daily calculation. It's weekly calculation. Okay. You choose the number of kilometers you travel. Then what is the average fuel economy of the vehicles you use most often? So are these hybrid or electric vehicles? Then the efficiency is the highest. Okay. So if you use electric bike, then highest efficiency. If you use electric car, highest efficiency. So depending upon that and the average that your vehicle gives, you choose the percentage. Okay. Now, when you travel by car, how often do you carpool? In the sense, do you go along with your friends when you travel by car? Yeah. Or when you go on bike, do you go along with your friends? Okay. So that is pooling. Yeah. So this is a good practice which we should follow. Okay. So that we need to answer. Okay. Next. The next question asks, how far do you travel on public transportation each week? Like, do you use bus? Do you use trains? If you use trains and buses, then actually it is good for environment. Okay. So you can tell how much distance you travel every week with public transportation. Next. How many hours do you fly each year? So you may be taking vacation, family vacations, or you may be traveling for some other purpose. Yeah, you have to tell how many hours do you fly each year, because the highest consumption is the air fuel. Okay, so based upon all of these answers, then you give some details here, and then you can see, or you can also skip giving all of the details and you can see your own results. Okay, but I would suggest you can give basic email address and your name here. Then you keep getting very beautiful newsletters from them. Okay, so I would request all of you to take up this particular survey and find out the result for yourself as to what your earth overshoot day is. My personal earth overshoot day is October 29th, and my aim is to take it to December 31st. Yeah. So I'm trying to find out doing what I can reduce my ecological footprint and become a responsible citizen, responsible towards Mother Nature. Okay. Yeah. So this is from my side, and now we can take up questions if we have any.
Thank you, ma'am. I think that was a very interesting session, and I hope everybody who's watching us today has enjoyed the session. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the comments and we will be happy to answer them for you. I think we'll be able to see the questions in a bit on our screen.
Sure.
Just to start off, ma'am, a question from my side. How do we become trustworthy to the environment while also taking care of our needs, our day-to-day needs? So when we have, we have our day-to-day needs, and it's more convenient to, let's say, get a plastic bag instead of actually going out and taking a recyclable bag or something like that. So how do we still be how do we still be honest with the environment, and how do we maintain that trustworthiness within ourselves?
Yeah. Thank you, Sana. Very beautiful question. Yeah. So I'm sure, unfortunately, we have gone into the lifestyle which is eating away so much of, natural resources. Yeah. Just by our subsistence. So, like right now, even giving this particular session, the electricity is on here. But Fortunately, we have the solar power plant here, which gives almost 40% of the energy. Yeah. So we should be able to answer to ourselves very honestly, whatever withdrawals we are making from environment, be it in the form of electricity, be it in the form of water, be it in the form of some natural resources, we have to ensure that we are using them judiciously and we are not wasting it. Yeah. So like small actions that we need to take. So like while brushing teeth, yeah, we on the tap for a second, put it off, complete the brushing of the teeth, again put it on for a few seconds, and then again put it off. Okay. So we have to be honest to ourselves that we are cautiously making an effort to reduce the use of the precious resources as water, electricity. Yeah. Then avoid too much of consumerism. Yeah. So I'm sure when we go to the shopping market, yeah, we feel like buying a lot of things. We keep changing our headphones even though the previous headphone may be good. Yeah. We may tend to keep changing mobile phones even though our mobile phone is good. Yeah. Can we avoid doing that? Yeah. Can we avoid unnecessary shopping? Yeah. So all of these steps are small steps that take us towards the path of being responsible for environment. Okay. Avoid plastic. So the plastic tide Turner Challenge program is a beautiful program by United Nations Environment Program, and the phase 4 is on now, and the students can participate in that too. So it helps you to keep an audit of how much plastic is generated in your house in a week. And then you can find out how much of it is single use plastic, means which is thrown away and which cannot be reused. Yeah. Try to avoid using the single use plastic. Take shopping bags. Yeah. uh, Use the brushes which are could be wood based. Avoid too much plastic there. So there are a lot of healthy options or environment friendly options available now. We can use them. Okay. Yeah.
Right. I think Mahi has asked if you could define trustworthiness just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mahi. Yeah. If I have to define it very simply, yeah, it's what do we do when no one is watching us? What do we do when no one is watching us is actually trustworthiness. If no, if your parents are not there, if our teachers are not there, do we still choose to study? Yeah. If no one is watching us, do we still choose to be environmentally responsible? Then actually we are trustworthy. Okay, so the simple definition of trustworthiness is what do you do when no one is watching you? Okay.
Yes, I think Roshan has asked this question that a lot of people are asking. What is an
Wow.
overshoot?
Yeah. Thank you so much. And sorry, I had a little less time when I was going to end because I wanted to give time for this question answers. Overshoot day. Actually, a lot of these scientists, they have come together from different backgrounds and they have calculated whatever natural resources we have, the metals that we have, water that we have, electricity that we generate. Yeah. So they have calculated how much earth has in totality, all of these resources, like platinum or gold, silver, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then lithium, everything. Okay. And then that total resources, most of them are finite resources, means there is a quota of it and it will get over someday. As we know about fossil fuels, as we know about most of the precious metals also. Okay. Now, keeping that quota or that total number of resources that we have globally, they divided it into how much for a decent living a human being would require for survival, with a decent lifestyle which is responsible to environment. At the same time, it is decent way of living. Okay, they made a calculation, and they may said in a year only this much resources should be utilized for earth. Okay, but then unfortunately, if someone starts living like all of the developed countries, yeah, like US for that matter, okay, putting heater all the while, putting AC all the while, yeah, even if not needed, yeah, or like Arab Emirates. Unfortunately, Dubai is consuming 4.7 times the earth according to the calculations. Yeah. So their earth overshoot day is just in February. So whatever their quota is of using the earthly resources, they finish it in February itself. What they should be finishing by December 31st. So imagine if your mother gives you 2000 rupees and says this 2000 rupees is your pocket money, and you spend it for 1 month. Okay, so this is your pocket money for 1 month. Imagine someone of you can choose to spend it very judiciously, keeping till the end of the month, and some of you may choose to spend it the first day itself, all 2000 rupees, and then for the next 29 days you don't have anything for yourself. This is exactly what we are doing, and that calculation is called as earth overshoot day. We are using all of the earth's resources before time, before or more than the budget for the year. Yeah, so that is called as earth overshoot day. Okay, so you'll be able to come to know your individual earth overshoot day by following the footprint calculator. Okay, yeah. Yes, Sana.
So Alpana is asked,
Yeah,
what is the substitute of plastic?
yeah, very beautiful question, Alpana. Um I know plastic is called as magic material. Why? Because it is very flexible, it is malleable, it is neutral, it doesn't react with other things. But there are, the world was living even when plastic was not, um, was not there. Yeah. So plastic is kind of a recent development. Yeah. Even before that, Earth was there. Human beings were there. We were all living. Okay. That means there is substitute for plastic. Yeah. So we can. So there are a lot of things which are substitute of plastic. The first thing that we should try to substitute is the single-use plastic, the shopping bags, yeah, which choke animals, which is harming a lot of marine beings, endangered species because of plastic. So first thing that we can try to substitute is single-use plastic. So there are examples of what single-use plastics are. Plastic bottles. So whenever you're traveling, can you choose to bear a little more burden and carry this steel bottle? Little more burden, yeah. But avoid using plastic bottle, water bottle, when you're outside. Okay. Can you choose to eat home made food and not eat processed food, which comes in the different packets? Kurkure, this, that, all of those things. Because the packaging of these all food items is the most tough one to handle, because it is not just plastic, it is metal along with plastic. Can you imagine? It is very tough to handle. Okay, so can we avoid processed food. Okay, so maybe you can say, if I was eating kurkure 4 times in a month, can I come down to once in a month? I can do that. Yeah. If I was eating some of those chocolates every day, can I choose to eat it maybe once in 15 months, 15 days? Yeah, or once in a month. Okay, and choose sweets which are made at home. Okay, so plus all of the plastic that is generated in the house, can we choose to collect it in maybe some container and give it to a recycler in our nearby area? If we are not able to completely reduce the plastic use, we can at least try to choose to collect all of that plastic and give it to the recycler in the close by area. Okay. So I hope I have given enough small steps that you can take and choose to be more responsible for environment. Yeah.
So Krishang is asking, what is an eco footprint? If you could tell him that.
Wow, Krishnang, thank you so much for a beautiful question. There are a lot of smart questions coming from this particular batch. Yeah. And I'm proud of all of you. Okay. So let me tell you, you all are our future. And we have a lot of hope with all of you, our future generation, that you all will save our environment. Yeah. You all will take those needed steps and become responsible. Okay, some things which we couldn't do in our lifetime. Yeah. So talking about the eco footprint, uh, all of the natural resources like coal coal is used to generate electricity. Okay, so how much electricity we are using? Yeah, what kind of food we are eating? So if we are eating a lot of animal based diet that we have, actually we are harming environment a lot. Why? Lot of water is needed in slaughterhouses, which is many times more, probably 100, 200, 300, 500 times more to that of agriculture. Okay, so if we shift to plant based diet, we are reducing the ecological footprint. Okay, we are consuming less water. Okay, the amount of water that you require for bathing, for washing purposes and everything, do you use smart appliances which use less water, less electricity? Then your ecological footprint is lesser. Okay, so after this session gets over, Krishnang, you and your all of your friends should go and have a discussion with your parents and ask them, the refrigerator that you have, is this energy efficient refrigerator? How much electricity is it consuming? So try to become a responsible citizen by asking these smart questions there too. Okay. Yeah. So ecological footprint is how much electricity that you are consuming, how much water you are consuming, how much coal, fossil fuel you are consuming, all of these things. How often do you have to travel? How long distances you have to travel? Okay, so that in totality is your ecological footprint. Means that much of ecological resources you are consuming for yourself. So there is separate water footprint also. Yeah, there is electricity, the energy footprint also there. So like this individual footprints, all of these combine together in totality to give ecological footprint. How much impact your life is making on environment and how much you are consuming from environment resources. That is what is meant by ecological footprint. Yeah, I hope this helps.
Right.
Yeah, Aryan, thank you so much. Yeah. So, yes, Sana, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
No, just this that Aryan was asking about why trustworthiness is important. So
Yeah, the beautiful questions. Aryan, do you love friends? If you want friends in your life, yeah. Do you love your family members? Yeah. If you love your mother, you love your father, your siblings, yeah. So the lubricant. So imagine. So I'm sure you must be having your bicycle with you, right? Yeah. And in that bicycle, you have to put a lubricant, yeah, so that the wheel runs smoothly and the chain of the bicycle runs smoothly, right? Yeah. So trustworthiness is that lubricant in relationships. Your relationships will be smooth, you will have a lot of friends, and you will become a happy person if you become trustworthy, Aryan. And I'm sure I'm sure, and I also pray that you become one in life. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Wow, Mahi, very intelligent question again. Yeah. So what is carbon footprint? Yeah. So Sana, very intelligent questions are coming here. Yeah, I think a similar question also coming here again from Vanshika, right? Yeah. What is carbon footprint and what is energy efficiency? Beautiful questions. So carbon footprint is, see, whatever electricity is consumed, okay, it comes from coal, by burning coal. And when you burn coal, maximum carbon dioxide is released because of that. Okay. The major source of carbon dioxide in atmosphere is coal based electricity. The second reason is the vehicular emissions, the vehicles that we use, cars, uh, motorcycles, and all of these things. We burn petrol, diesel, and what comes out of it, the emissions out of it, yeah, is also carbon dioxide. There is nitrous oxide, and there is sulfur dioxide, and all of these SOx, NOx, and carbon dioxide. So carbon footprint is how much electricity we consume, which is leading to carbon emissions. How much CO2 is released because of our activities where we have consumed electricity. Yeah. So this is what is called as carbon footprint. Okay. And what is energy efficiency? If some appliance is energy efficient, it consumes less electricity. So there are inverter technology AC, so that you can also see in the room that I'm sitting. It's an inverter technology AC. It actually uses less electricity. It trips off in between. Yeah. So carbon footprint there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope I've given some justice to the questions that you all have asked. And I enjoyed this particular session. Yeah. Go
thank
ahead,
you so
Sana.
much, ma'am. I think we've answered most of the questions. Just to give a small, brief summary of what we discussed today, we spoke about trustworthiness and how it's important when it comes to saving the environment. And we learned about the concept of the wheel of trust. We saw a video on the Chernobyl disaster as well and learned about how Mother Nature's trustworthiness comes into play. And finally, to all students who are watching, ma'am has given you a very interesting activity to do. So please make sure you calculate your carbon footprint and you know how much you're consuming and how much you need to reduce as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Everybody is wishing you a very happy Teachers' Day. So we wish you a very happy Teachers' Day. And
Thank you
we
so
wish all
much.
teachers joining us today a very happy Teachers' Day. To everyone who's here, please make sure that you download your study material from the website veolympiad.com. Please make sure that you also register for the Olympiad. You get your friends to register as well because the registrations are closing very soon. And we will now be meeting you in our next session on next Sunday. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sana.